How many games will the Carolina Panthers win in 2024? What's going on, Panthers fans? It's time to keep pounding. And it's your boy Mayo Jones here, back at it with another video. And this time we'll be doing our prediction for the Carolina Panthers for 2024 NFL season, giving my thoughts, my game analysis to see which games I think the Panthers are going to win and which games I think the Panthers will lose. Now, before I give you my prediction for the Carolina Panthers for the 2024 NFL season, don't forget to put the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and comment down your opinion below to see how far you think the Panthers will go. Do you think this is a team that will make the playoffs this year, or you think they're gonna stink and be one of the worst teams? Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. So week one, they have to play on the road against the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, this is a game that can definitely go either way. Obviously, actually, the game's in New Orleans, which is kind of a tough place to play but I got the Saints winning that game because the game's in New Orleans. New Orleans has a better coach. They have a better coach, a better quarterback. They're at home. They're the more complete team. They got more talent overall on defense. So, yeah. And I just think, I guess that boy is supposed to be his long lost son or something. So yeah, and especially Dennis Allen's defense really did a good job, defending Bryce Young. And I feel like he can do it in this game. So I think the Saints will win that game. Week 2 against the Los Angeles Chargers. This is a game Carolina can win because I think Carolina has more weapons on offense. But I'm leaning the Chargers to win because the Chargers have the better quarterback. They got a better coaching, in my opinion. And I think they're a better team overall. And, the Panthers, I don't really think their defense is good enough to defend Justin Herbert. Even though he doesn't have a lot of good weapons around him, I feel like he can definitely do enough to take advantage of the Panthers' young secondary. And the Chargers, have a really good offensive line. They can run the ball a little bit. Their defense, especially their deep pass rush is really good, which I think they can do enough to get after Bryce Young. Their secondary is very strong, which I think they can at least they can do enough to slow down the Panthers receivers. So yeah, so I think the Chargers win that game. Week 3 against the Las Vegas Raiders. This is a game that the Panthers can win because I can see them winning this game, but I got the Raiders win this game, no matter who's playing quarterback for the Raiders is. I think the Raiders win this game. They're at home. I think the Raiders are a better version than the Panthers. And I think the Raiders got the better defense. And their pass rush did improve this offseason. So I think they can do enough to get after Bryce Young. They got some good weapons on offense that can really attack him, like Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer. They have a solid offensive line and a good running game, which I think they can run the ball on them. So, yeah, I think the Raiders will win that game for sure on the road. Then week 4, they play against the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, I got the Bengals winning this game because the Bengals, they're probably going to be one of the best teams in the AFC coming up. They got the better quarterback, better coaching. They're a more complete team. That's why. Then week 5 against Chicago Bears. This is the game from last year where it was Bryce Young versus Tyson Bagent. But now it's Bryce Young versus Caleb Williams. So I got the Bears win this game because the game's in Chicago, where it's a tough place to play at, where it could be windy there. And the Bears, they're just a more complete team. They got a better coaching staff. They're out, and I think they got the better quarterback. I think Caleb Williams is a lot better than Bryce Young. And especially the Bears, got a really good roster. They got a lot of weapons on offense like Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Rome Duze. Like they got some weapons on offense that can really give the Panthers secondary problems. And, they got DeAndre Swift in the backfield, which I think the Bears can run the ball on them. They have a good offensive line, a great defensive line. Their pass rush is very strong, but their secondary is pretty strong too, which I think they can like do enough to cover the Panthers receivers. So yeah, so I think the Bears win that game at home. Then week 6 against the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, I'm gonna say Carolina gets their first win at home and beat the Falcons because Carolina sometimes tend to play the Falcons hard. Now, last year I believe Carolina did split with them because I think they won by like 2 points, which that was an ugly game, which that was crazy. So I think the Panthers will beat the Falcons once this year, especially as in Carolina. The Falcons' defense is not great. Maybe Carolina can move the ball on them. They can throw on them. They have a strong offensive line to do that. And I think Carolina's defense could be a lot better than Atlanta, but both of their defenses are sketchy in my opinion. So I think Carolina will beat them once in this game at home. Then week 7 against the Washington Commanders. This is a game that the Panthers could win, but given that Washington's secondary is weak, but I'm leaning towards Washington to win because I think Washington is a better overall team. They got the better core. They're at home. I think they got the better coaching, in my opinion. And I feel like they got some weapons on offense that can really, really give the Panthers defense some problems. Like they got Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Austin Eckler is a stud. Their offensive line is not good, but their pass rush is really good, which I think their defensive line with Allen and Payne can definitely give the Panthers O line some issues and get after Bryce Young and all that. So yeah. So I think Washington will move the ball on Carolina, so that's why I think Washington will win. Then against the Denver Broncos, week 8. This is another swing game that can go either way. I think Carolina can win this game because Carolina, got the quarterback advantage here and they got more weapons on offense. But I'm gonna go with the Broncos here to win this game because it's in the game's in Denver and Mile High, where it could be a tough place to play at. And even though Denver, doesn't know who their quarterback is, I think Sean Payton will give him a good game plan. Will have a good game plan against the Panthers. To like run the football, control the game in time possession, keeping Bryce on the sidelines. And their defense, is not great, but I'm not too worried about that. I mean, about their secondary, as long as they can crowd the box, I think they can play the run. So I think Denver will win that game. Week 9 against the New Orleans Saints, I think they'll split with the Saints. So I'm going to give them a win at home here because I think Carolina can do enough offensively to move the ball on the Saints. Their offensive line is better now where they can block the Saints. And I think now Bryce Young has some weapons where I think they can separate against the Saints defense. So yeah, I think the Panthers will beat the Saints once. But week 10 against the Giants, this is a tricky game. I think that's a game I think Carolina can win because they just got more weapons on offense than the Giants do. But I'm going to lean towards the Giants because I think the Giants are just a better overall team. I mean, I wouldn't say that, but this could be the Brian Burns revenge game. I think the Giants has got the better defensive line, like their pass rush is very good now with Brian Burns in the mix. I think the Giants' defensive line is going to give the Panthers' offensive Bryce Young tons of issue with. I think they can get after Bryce Young. They have a young secondary, which I think they can man up against the Panthers receivers, but I don't think their secondary is great. But I think the Giants' defense will win them that game. And I think Daniel Jones can do enough to like use his legs to run against that Panthers defense. So yeah, I think the Giants win that game there. Then they get a bye week 11. Then week 12 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, they will lose to the Chiefs because Chiefs are just one of the best teams. Like better quarterback, better coaching staff, better team. That's pretty much why. And then week 13 against the Buccaneers, I think they'll split with the Bucks. So I'm gonna say they win the first game against the Bucks because I feel like Dave Canales can have a good game plan against Todd Bowles' defense. So yeah, and I feel like the Panthers can move the ball on Tampa. So yeah, I think Carolina will win that game, and I'm gonna say they split with the Bucks. So I'm gonna say the Bucks win the second game because the Bucks are at home. They're a better team overall, better quarterback. I think they got better coaching, and I feel like the Bucks might have more to play for because the Bucks could be a team that they're probably gonna make the playoffs. They might be a team that can definitely make the playoffs this year, but I don't know. But maybe. And Carolina probably don't have much to play for because I don't think they're going to be a playoff team this year. They're probably going to be playing for next year. Like who knows? So yeah, that's why I think the Bucks can at least like split with Tampa. It's pretty much they own the Panthers since Tom Brady was there, and now they pretty much have owned them since no Tom Brady. So yeah. Then week 14, we go back to week 14. They play against the Eagles and they play against the Cowboys. I believe they lose both games against the Eagles and Cowboys. Eagles, I got them losing that game because it's in Philly. Philly's a better team, better quarterback, better coach. Yeah, that's why. And then I got them losing to Dallas because Dallas is an overall better team, better quarterback, better coaching. Yeah. And then against the Cardinals, week 16, this is another swing game. This is a game that can go either way. I could see the Cardinals winning this game because I think the Cardinals can definitely move the ball in Carolina. They got some good weapons on offense that can really attack them. They got a good running back, which I think they can run the ball on them. Their offensive line is solid, but their defense is a little sketchy. So I'm going to say Carolina is going to win that game because I think the Panthers, the receiving core is a difference maker. And I don't think Arizona really has, the players in the secondary to man up against the Panthers receivers. Like, I feel like Adam Thielen, Deontay Johnson, Xavier Legette, Tommy Tremble, and those weapons they have on offense will be too much for the Cardinals secondary to handle. And the Cardinals defensive line is pretty young, but I don't think it's good. I think Carolina can have success running the ball here, and I think Bryce Young can have a good game here. So I think the Panthers win. Last game against the Atlanta Falcons, week 18. Then I got the Falcons winning that game because Falcons got more to play for because I have them winning the division and making the playoffs and all that. And Atlanta has a better quarterback and they're a better team overall. So yeah, that's why. Um, I have the Panthers going 4-13, which that's bold. I can see them winning like 5-6 games. But when you look at 4-13, that's kind of better than last year because I believe last year they were like the worst team in the league and they won like 2 games. But 4-13 is better than last year. Like when you look at the teams when you look at their schedule, they have to play a few playoff teams. They got to play, the Saints twice, the Falcons twice, who's going to be really good. The Bucks, who made the playoffs last year. They got to play the Bengals. Um, They got to play the Chiefs. They gotta play the Cowboys and the Eagles. So that's a hard schedule. So yeah, but I think I got the Panthers still in. I got the Panthers in last in division because I still think the Panthers defense is a little bit lousy. Um, I like their defense coordinator. Um, the offensive weapons that they have. I think the receiving core did improve, which I really like it, along with Deontay Johnson and Xavier Get, along with Adam Thielen, which that's good. I like the draft picks with the running back and the tight end, and I think they're going to be special. Um, the offensive line did improve. The defense, so yeah, but I feel like Dave Canales is kind of a proven coach, in my opinion. So yeah, and I feel like he can definitely make make the Panthers a lot better. But it's a new culture, and it's gonna take some time and all that. But I hope the Panthers can prove me wrong because I think Bryce Young will be better than he was last year. But yeah, but I don't think he will be a bust, but I think he will be really good. But when you look at the Panthers and their schedule, I can see them at least like beating teams like the Chargers. I can see them beating the Commanders or the Broncos or the Giants and all that. And basically, I got them at least like splitting with their whole division. Like I got them splitting with all three of their teams in their division, like the Saints, Bucks, and Falcons. And I got them losing on the road against those teams well too. So yeah. So basically I think 4-13 sounds about right for the Panthers. So yeah, and especially, you don't have a rookie quarterback. So yeah, I don't really know how good Bryce Young will be. I think he will succeed. So yeah, I don't view them as almost a team. I don't view them as a team almost viewing with a rookie quarterback. But at least they don't have a rookie quarterback no more because now Bryce Young's entering his second year in the league. So yeah. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the Panthers. Well, this is Emmanuel Jones, I'm a big fan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later in the next video. Peace.